Now that the user repository is ready to be used, we're going to replace the getUserFake and createUserFake functions we previously implemented in the service layer by actual calls to the database using the read and create handlers of the user repository object. So to make the repositories visible to the service layer, we must first import the repositories and the models modules within the application's entry point, initialize them within the try-catch block, and pass the repositories object down to the server initializer function using the dependency injection pattern. Once we've done that, we can update the signature of the function exported by the server module in order to account for this new parameter and pass it down once again to the login and sign up controllers. We're now going to update the signature of the initializer function of the login controller to account for the new parameter and pass the read method of the user repository down to the service layer through the invocation of the login function. Once we've done that, we can start by removing the getUserFake function from the login service file, declaring the getUser function as a parameter of the logging service function, and replace the call to the getUserFake function by the getUser function. We're now going to repeat the same process for the signup service by first updating the signature of the signup controller by creating an initializer function that takes as argument the repo's parameter and returns the signup controller itself. Then we're going to pass the method of the user model down to the service layer through the invocation of the signup function. And finally, we're going to remove the implementation of the createUserFake function in the signup service, declare the createUser function as a parameter of the signup function, and replace the call to the createUserFake by createUser. Now that we're all set, we're going to verify that our endpoints work as expected by first sending a login request with an email password that doesn't exist in the database, which should cause the server to respond with an HTTP 401 unauthorized. Then we're going to send a sign-up request using the same email password pair, which should insert a new record in the users table and cause the server to respond with an HTTP 201 created. If we now send the same exact request again, the server should respond with an HTTP 500 internal server error, indicating that the spare already exists in the database. And finally, if we resend the first login request a second time, the server should respond with an HTTP 200 OK containing an access token.